Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of The Awesome C.O.D.Y. As usual, I'm your host, C.O.D.Y, and today we are continuing July's theme of celebrating Brian K. Vaughan for his birthday month, and we are going to continue along here. So, for the folks who are just joining us or haven't listened to the previous two episodes, there's a couple things. So, we started with We Stand on Guard, then we did The Private Eye, and this week we are talking about The Walking Dead, The Alien. So for the again, folks who haven't been listening or this is the first time joining in, so Brian K. Vaughan, one of my favorite comic book writers as well as creators for, he worked on television programs as well. We talked about him a little bit before, a couple episodes back, as well as a couple months back. Actually, I think like 3 years ago now. Anyways, actually, I've talked about him a couple times throughout this show, as well as the main show. He has done quite a few things. Check out those episodes. I'm not going to go all over them again. But this week, talking about The Walking Dead, The Alien. This is the only story in continuity outside of Robert Kirkman's original run of books. Now, when I say that, what I mean is Robert Kirkman has wrote all of the story arcs that pertain to The Walking Dead. He is the only, I guess you could say, continuity writer for all the story arcs that went through all 193 issues of the main story that has to do with, Rick and all of the and Carl and all the people who were involved in the story. If you don't know Walking Dead, either from the show or from the comic book, wow. But Robert Kirkman created this this book released in October of 2003, ran for all the way until July of 2019, so 2 years ago. When he abruptly ended it, which really caught quite a few people off guard, and so on and so forth. And the reason I'm bringing this up is there's a lot of stuff used differently from the show and the book, obviously. But one of the big things about the book is the fact that nobody's safe, but also the characters are varied from the show. Matter of fact, Daryl doesn't exist in the book, really, and so on and so forth. But I'm not going to go through all that. Basically, what I'm saying is The Walking Dead, The Alien, written by Brian K. Vaughan and drawn by Marcos Martin, is the only story in continuity not written by only comic book in continuity not written by Robert Kirkman, so it's kind of a special thing that way. Now, I do believe there's specials. Actually, no, maybe it's the incorrect statement. I believe some of this stuff was written by other people for the specials. I don't think, did Kirkman write? He wrote Negan Lives. Never mind, that might be incorrect. I think he actually did write all of them. I'd have to look that up, so I might have misspoke. Trying to remember if... No, I guess all of them were written by Kirkman except for the Alien. Anyhow, so this story, in continuity, it's one of the best. And the reason why it's so good is, one is it's classic. It's classically done. It's in black and white. Just like all the originals are. And the story, I don't want to ruin everything for you, but basically, it is, actually, let's see. I think the description, that doesn't really, a black and white story firmly set in Walking Dead comic book continuity. There's the description I saw somewhere. Well, there's one description I saw, I think it was on Wikipedia, that is completely and utterly gives away part of the story. So if you're looking at, don't look it up on Wikipedia and ruin it for yourself. Head over to panelsyndicate.com and download a copy of it for as low as $0 if you want. But if you want to spend a couple bucks, that'd be pretty cool to support them in their endeavor in making independent comic books, like I talked about last week. So you can go to panelsyndicate.com, and I'll have the link on the website as of, the release of this on Wednesday about 10 a.m. My time. So sometime during the day, if you want to go to the link from the podcast description, we'll send you over to the website, or just go to comesnaturallypodcast.com, and you'll see the blog post with the information there, or just go to panelsyndicate.com. And on the front page, about a third way down, if you scroll past the new stuff, you'll see The Walking Dead: The Alien, where you can download it for, like I said, $0 if you want, or a couple bucks if you want to support Brian and Marcos's dream of independently made comic books. But anyway, so yeah, the story's short and sweet. It's 32 pages, really well illustrated. The shame to it is there's no colorist. Well, I'll get to that in a minute. There's no colorist in the original one. If you want a hardcover physical version of it, you can get one. Image released a hardcover version of it last year, I believe it was. And I mean, it's still not colored. It's still black and white, but it's a physical copy if you want to get it that way too. But like I said, you can get it as low as $0 from panelsyndicate.com. But if you want a physical copy that supports your local comic shop, as well as also through, if you get it at a local comic shop, it's already kind of benefited Brian and Marcos, but it's there if you want it. But you can buy it. It's a pretty cool hardcover. It's got a bunch of stuff in the back, which I think is also in the digital download version, because I think, let me check. I want to say, I don't have it on there, but I believe there's some extra art, sketches, and a description of by Brian about why he wrote this story and how he wrote this story. And if you're a longtime reader of Walking Dead, I won't spoil. Again, I'm not going to spoil what it is, but this story directly links to the main characters and stuff and the events that are going on, and has a pretty cool link to it. And Brian talks about it at the end of it as well. But anyways, that's basically The Walking Dead. So without spoiling anything, the whole story, not spoil the whole story, but basically the story boils down to an American trapped in Barcelona, Spain, when the zombie apocalypse, or the event, pandemic, whatever you want to call it, catastrophe, the literal emergence of the Walking Dead happens. Due to quarantines, he is stuck there, and he gets approached by a young Spanish lady who saves his life, and she needs his help, and she would like to give him help as well, getting out of Spain and try to get back home. And there's a story that goes along with it, obviously, and so on and so forth. That's basically it. You can check it out. Like I said, panelsyndicate.com. You can go there, download it. I'll have the link on the website if you don't want to go directly to it. But yeah, that's about it. Check it out. Love it. Read it. Enjoy the art, because Marcos' art is amazing and Brian's writing is really clever. And then make sure to read the blurb at the end of it from Brian talking about it, because it's cool the way he goes over the whole thing and everything like that. It's pretty awesome. And if you, like I said, you can go on. You can probably buy it. Local comic shops probably have it. Maybe you might be able to buy it from like Barnes & Noble or Amazon or any of those publications if you want a physical copy of it after you download it and read it. A little harder to read on a phone, I'll give you that warning. If you have an iPhone or an Android phone, the file system will let you download it, but it doesn't read really well on phones. On tablets, it will. Phones, it's just because the format that it's in. It's the widescreen, like all the Panel Syndicate stuff. So it's gonna be a little harder to read on your phone. You can do it. You might skip over some stuff as you scroll left and right, up and down to get to it all. So I highly recommend using a computer or a tablet. And you can get it from it's just on the website, and you can click it and download as long as you're pretty much any Android tablet, iPad. Should be able to download a file to it, and like you do with your phone if you really want to. Even if you have a big old screen phone like I do, it's just not the same because again, formatting is a little different on there. But yeah, use your computer if you want. Yeah, that's it for this week's episode of The Awesome with Cody. I have been your host, Cody, and as usual, let's be awesome.